Happiness might feel like something elusive. It's something you can't aim for because it comes from living a good life, not from setting specific goals. However, happiness is something you can cultivate. There are certain components to happiness you can focus on in order to build it into your life. The first of the components are ones I think of as foundational items. These are things that form the basis upon which everything else in your life is built. They have a huge impact on your state of being, and when these falter, everything else can come tumbling down. The first fundamental item is balance, the idea that too much or too little of something will have a negative impact on your life. You see this a lot. Too much work, not enough time for yourself, not enough social action, all things that when out of balance can lead to burnout, stress, and loneliness. But when they're in balance, things work much better for you. An oftentimes surprising component of balance is the fact that everyone has a different mix of what works for them. So taking the time to figure out what balance looks like to you is the hard part that will pay off in the end. The next foundational item is something I call realistic optimism. The idea that a lot of our dissatisfaction in life comes from unrealistic expectations. Think about it. When you have high expectations for an event and it doesn't meet that bar, you feel let down. You're disappointed when you don't achieve that goal you thought you were capable of. You're frustrated when things take longer than you thought it would. A lot of those things go away when you look at the reality of the situation. What are you truly capable of achieving? What life factors might be limitations? What kind of help do you need? The optimistic part of it is looking for the positives and opportunities after you've accepted the reality of your situation. After all, you're capable of doing lots of things. You just need to be realistic about what that looks like. The final foundational item is health. At least 3/4 of the books I've read say you need 3 things: good diet, adequate sleep, and exercise. Those are the things that give you the energy needed to tackle what you face in life, the patience to deal with the ups and downs, and the mental fortitude to be at your best. As much as these things tend to be put in the back burner, you know in your heart how important they are. Think about it. If you're tired, you're going to be short-tempered and have little energy. When you don't exercise, you lose energy and get more stressed. And there's a reason why people call you hangry when you haven't had enough to eat. Now, once you've got those foundational items down, you need to think about the structural components required to build a happy life. The first one's fulfillment. The idea that you are living a life of purpose. Because when you do so, your sense of joy and fulfillment go through the roof. But it's not enough to think about what fulfills you. You have to get moving on things. In fact, 90% of fulfillment comes in actually getting things done. Talking about it gets you nowhere. The real magic comes from putting things into action. It creates a sense of accomplishment and self-worth. In other words, fulfillment builds self-confidence, which is the next structural item you need to think about. I'm sure you've heard the phrase, happiness comes from within. That's essentially what's at the heart of self-confidence. You need to believe in yourself in order to be confident enough to put yourself out there. You need to be kind to yourself when things don't go as planned and maintain that confidence. You also need to embrace your true self. What are your limitations, abilities, aspirations, and motivations? When you're kind to yourself, self-aware, confident, nothing will get in your way. The next structural item is community. Human beings are social beings who need to be part of a community for a few reasons. First, there's a sense of belonging that comes from being around people. Second, the most rewarding, fulfilling things you can do in your life are things which have an impact on others. And finally, humans perform best when they're working together. So a strong community can give you energy, support, a sense of purpose in your life, and allow you to achieve great things. The fourth structural item is one that bonds communities together and provides long-lasting happiness: our memories. We live by our stories. It's how we connect with each other, and it's what binds us and unites us towards common goals. They motivate us to accomplish amazing things. Your memories are what make you you. They bring a smile to your face. They tell the story of what you're capable of. They shape the kind of person you are, and at the end of the day, they're what tell you if you lived a good life or not. The final structural item is going to be different for each person. It's a mix of exploration, creativity, and mastery you need to live your best life. Everyone needs one of these things to feel fulfilled. There's a group of people who need a life filled with new tasks, new learnings, new cultures. They want to push boundaries and explore more. Some others might need a life filled with creativity in one of its many forms. Maybe it's expressing yourself through art, improving on things that already exist, or inventing something completely new. Yet still, there are more people who might need to pursue excellence. They want to become the best they can be in a certain area and get joy out of continuously being better. In short, they want to be masters in their domain. The mix of these three depends on what you want in your life. You might focus exclusively on one area or have a mix of all three. The right answer is what works for you. In fact, that concept of what matters to you is at the core of all of this. Everyone is their own unique person, and how you decide to approach each of these items is going to help you achieve a happy life.